Give the people what they want. Mm.
Ew, Ephraim with the fresh cut. You look like you 15. It's good. I remember when I had a hairline, but go ahead. Let's get this
Even on
joke.
junior prom.
It was about time. It was about time. It was much needed.
Look like
Much needed. I was working hard. I ain't had time. You know how I get. Working.
Yeah, who got
Take
their
care of the
stuff?
fam. Yo, we live.
All right. All right.
Uncensored Philly. Go ahead.
Go. No, you can go ahead.
Go ahead. You real hype. You hype. So I'll let you go ahead.
Oh, I am because it's an excellent win. So you're here on the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got Ethan, Wayne, and Tim. Wayne and the two Embiid haters on here tonight. Embiid ain't do nothing spectacular, but he was the lead of the show. Steph got put on lockdown by Matisse Thybulle and the Sixers defense. No, in all honesty, though, it was a good win. It really was a good win for the Sixers. It was a good team win. Doc made some adjustments for the defense. They started trapping hard. Drummond brought energy off the bench. He helped. He was a big spark to it. We had Shake made a couple big plays. It was a good team win.
Bigger
And
than big.
it was a win.
bigger than big. Bigger than big.
Who's
Bigger
that?
than big. Huge. He was a huge spark, Drummond. And how that second unit.
Oh, absolutely.
Without them, I think we lost this game, to be honest with
you. Yeah.
That's basketball as a team.
No, but you got to understand where the momentum was all on Golden State side in that third quarter. They came out and then Drummond sparked this, and then he got us moving, and the defense became alive again. The only thing I wish Doc kind of brought Shake what's his name? Shake Milton. I wish he brought him a little bit earlier because he had a really good undercover game for us on that floor. But no complaints today. Today is a day of celebration. I know it's just one regular season win, but it was a good win for our team, and I'm happy about it.
Today is the day of apologies.
No.
What you did
in the past still with
let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy.
Go ahead.
One win on a night on national TV when all he was doing was hyping and Steph gonna break the record, which I think he was forcing a little bit. And Sixers was bent on him not break. So let's relax. Great win. Good win.
Well, the apologies I was talking about was Matisse Thybulle. No, don't come on here all relaxed. Listen, that's because y'all ain't got to listen to these all day. Embiid stinks. We gonna lose. We trash. We stink. That's what we got to hear all game long. Even though the game was tight, this is what you hear all game long. Like I said, we win in 2 games this weekend out of these 3. Book it.
Okay, well, Monday we'll see. But this was a great win. I mean, there's so many people that you could think or thank. Like
it was a good team win.
First, Maxey had a very good first quarter.
They say it anyway. Ephraim, the boys, or he actually occasion with the fan, to be honest with you. That's why he's not here. So I would definitely drag him on the show. We all wanted to drag him on the show tonight. You know what I mean? So he can come on, bow down, all this stuff he talked.
I know. He actually traveling this weekend. So
Ephraim was actually the only other person on the podcast that was actually hyping supporting the Sixers tonight. It was a lot of hate coming from the other half. 2 of the 3
wasn't supporting the Sixers. I just stated the truth. Drummond in that second unit gave us a spark to get us back in the game. That's what I said. What's false about that?
And what you mean when you said don't bring Embiid back in the game, leave Drummond in the finish the game?
Embiid, listen to me, Embiid. Don't you see how hard Drummond plays? You saw he cuts to the basket. You see how he get oops. I want Embiid to play like that. I want Embiid to play like that. He don't. That's not his game. He don't play like that.
They're different type players.
But it started.
It used to be like Embiid. It looked like to me Embiid coast and wait to the 4th quarter to start balling harder and bring it home. I think that's what
he can't play a full game. He just won't. You can't play a complete game.
That's all right. Just bring it down the stretch. That's all.
And what he did for a lot of times this week, like 2 or 3 games this week, he been balling at the in the 4th quarter.
But in all honesty, my bad.
No, I was going to say quickly. The first person I want to give props to is Doc Rivers for not getting Danny Green out there starting lineup for this game. Because the last couple games he had Danny Green in there, he was giving us donuts, nothing real. So he almost was forced to do it after the last game against Utah, but he made the right move by starting Thybulle. That was
but my whole thing is they actually want Thybulle to take Danny Green's spot. He's not doing it. Tonight he made a leap toward that direction. Yeah. Tonight he made a leap. He's actually handed the spot like this is yours. Take it. He tug of Warren. Tug of Warren with it. Take the spot. Take it. That's what we want.
He's been criticized.
This looked like the Thybulle that we was looking at last year when we was thinking he was going to take the next step. This is what he was looking like when we were saying that he would hit a couple threes every once in a while. It wasn't like he was dripping threes, but the way he had been shooting this year was atrocious. So, but I mean, that being said,
he's still shooting like 27% from three, right?
I don't know, but he hit like 2 out. How many he hit tonight? Like 2 out of 4 or something like that.
He's shooting in the 20s this year right now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's taking it up from 3 this year, but tonight, I mean, he stepped up.
He did.
Doc, and you got to give Doc props. I know we like to rip Doc and say Doc ain't make adjustments and everything, but he did. Yeah. When they came out and Drummond started doing the hard trap, they started doing the hard trap off of that, and it was making Golden State push the ball out further, making them run deeper. Wiggins was hot in the first half, then kind of cooled off.
A lot.
Poole was getting. I mean, they had some decent shots and stuff, but you know,
it's good to see Maxey back too. Maxey had a real solid game.
Yeah,
solid game.
He did.
And I just want
the ball down at the end of the game.
He does.
But did you peep that? Did you peep that at the 4:30 mark of the game? B got a rebound and was coming up, and he was looking, and he told Maxey, he said, "Here," he's like, "Go!" And he threw him the ball, and Maxey went and attacked the basket, and I think he got an and one or something, or he scored, and they called a timeout. But B told him, he was like, "Go, take it." You know what I'm saying? And they need to do more of that for Maxey. Build the young boy up. Don't make him feel like hype him up to do that. You know what I'm saying? To push that issue like that.
I agree. But Maxey gave us something. Niang for some reason was acting silly on the court, and he did a lot of stuff I didn't like.
He was 2 for 5. He's 1 for 3 from 3. He had a hard game. 5 points. He was +5. That's what I'm saying. This is what I mean, though. Drummond. Let me give you these numbers because Wayne loved these.
All right.
And this is what I mean about how huge it was. Drummond was a +18. Milton was a +20. Hold on. Even though we won, Matt B was a -9 and Maxey was a -11. Even though we won the game. That's huge. And that's huge to what the second unit did and how big they was when they came back. Because was we down 10 when they came in and took the lead?
Yeah, we was down. We were down. We was down. Like, I think we got more than that. We was like 13.
That's what I mean about Hughes and the energy and how hard Drummond plays, man. How hard that second unit plays, man.
No, I'm not disregarding that at all. That's why I said I think it was a great team win. Drummond came in, and this is the difference between a team like Golden State, and I think the Sixers can play better against teams like Golden State because Golden State is undersized. When you had Utah, you had big bodies down there, so you're not going to bully them. And you don't have the guard play to match to Donovan Mitchell. So Utah really is a mismatch for us to go against them with the lineup as constituted. We have a better chance against a team like Golden State because they're a smaller team and you could try to physically, do more down there inside on them.
But Kayvon Looney, he was giving me that work early on.
You right, Dominic. They was playing their bench, but they kept them a little longer. I think Curry was in the game, matter of fact, at the time. At some point during that run that the second unit made. But I would definitely, somebody snuck in there, they talk about Ben for Kyrie in a heartbeat.
That would put them over.
Why would I think about that?
That would take Brooklyn to a whole nother level.
Why? Bro, why? Let's talk about the game, because you know what, you're getting this up crazy. Back to the game.
You mean back to the game? All right.
Yo,
the Sixers will
make trash cans. I think my trash cans just got blown down the street.
They say there's a storm up until 10:30.
Crazy, always wind. Crazy out here.
Now, what the people feel though? How they feeling right now?
Yeah, aggressive Maxey. You're right. That's what I think was hurting Maxey game. Maxey was trying to learn to play with B. He need B to tell him to go. You know what I mean? Because Maxey seems like Maxey's a nice kid. You know what I mean?
Trying to step on twos. Maxey not trying to step on twos.
Now I will give Ben credit for this. Ben Simmons I don't think he cared too much about that. He gonna do his thing. He ain't gonna care if he gonna step on B toes or not. I gave him credit for that. You need that. You need that little attitude a little bit um, to be a star in this league. If you ask me. But Maxey's a nice kid. Too nice, trying to, because you've seen at some points he forcing the play that Doc Collin trying to get beat the ball, So sometimes you just gotta go, man. You just gotta understand what's going on with basketball, understand what you mean in this team, and go.
Curry night was 6 for 20 and 3 for 14 from 3-point land. That's all. That was nothing but Thybulle.
Dang, I wonder what happened to them Bulls. All the athletes. What happened to all the athletes tonight? Ain't that usually the athletes do the Sixers and
listen? Golden State was off. Golden State missed a lot of wide open threes. Let's not act like. Let's not sit here and get crazy. That's what I keep saying. It's one game.
Maybe at home. Maybe the defense.
They literally only lost 5 games this year, including tonight's game.
But they also, if you listen to the announcers, like they said, Golden State hasn't played a tough. They're getting into the tough part of their schedule now.
They had a lot of home games, not necessarily tough. They had a lot of home games.
But they're good. But that makes a big difference when you're doing a lot of traveling. We saw what happened with the Sixers with a whole bunch of traveling. So I mean, I'm not saying Golden State garbage or nothing, but all that do make a difference.
See, this is what I didn't want to listen. I'm happy for the win, but I don't want to overhype it. I still want to see the season progress. We still in what, 7th seed in the East?
No, we're not. No,
we in 6th now, or we in 8th?
We was in after the last game. We was in 6th, I think.
No, we was in 7th after the last game. We was in 7th before this game.
7th.
Yeah.
How y'all feel what Toby did today? Because he had a kind of an up and down game. He did hit.
I'm not happy with Toby. We got to replace that guy. Man. Or maybe if he had a point guard that'll help him get his shot. Like I said before, Toby needs help getting his shot. If he can get in rhythm, he have a point guard that give him the ball in spots that he like it, then he'll probably be a nice little player. But other than that, he struggles. He tries to put the ball on the floor too much. He tries to do a little too much. I keep saying that.
I don't mind replacing Toby. I don't mind replacing anybody if we talk about an upgrade. But I just don't think get rid of Toby to get rid of Toby. I'd rather bring in some more talent. If we can keep him and bring more talent in so that you don't need as much from him, because I agree with what Ethan's saying. And like Ethan said, Doc said that when he first came in, that they had Brett. I mean, not Brett. Well, I mean, I guess it was Brett, but the Sixers had Toby doing too much. Handling the ball, dribbling, all that. Toby was really, I remember when we first got Toby, they was talking about comparing him to Steph. They said them two had the highest of like efficiency scoring without needing the ball, meaning as though like they don't know how to have the ball and dribble around in order to score. And that's what Thybulle was. I mean, that's what
this was probably because Clay was out for 2 years. I'm guessing.
No, because even if you think about it, Steph don't really dribble the ball. Steph do a lot of catch and shoot.
Clay. This was probably because Clay was out for 2 years. Clay hardly touches the ball when he scores.
Oh, but he don't score. He wasn't scoring at the same clip. That
what? Clay Thompson? Take Clay?
Yeah, he wasn't scoring at Steph clip.
No, you talking about Toby. You compare Steph to Toby.
I mean, all right, but no matter what you want to say, that's what it was coming in. I don't know if it's. Wait a minute, Clay was still. That was like 2 years ago when we got Toby. Clay was playing, wasn't he?
No, Clay was out 2 years.
Why? Wait. Toby first came to the Sixers the year that Kawhi won, and Clay was playing that year and got hurt that finals. So Clay was playing that year when we traded for Toby, and that Toby was Steph, and then it was Toby.
And you said Toby had the highest efficiency because he didn't dribble the ball; he just caught and shoot.
It was like basically, yeah. They were saying like they don't need the ball because they were saying how he don't need the ball as much. That's what they were saying when they first got him. That was one of the big pluses it was supposed to be because. But that's to say, to your point that you're making, he's doing too much with the dribbling and trying to, even when he tried to take somebody off the dribble, it's like he backs all the way up to almost half court so he can get a running start to try to, you know what I'm saying, run and score. Like, you know.
Hey, you know what, Herbert? I agree with that. And I've been comparing Ben to Draymond. Ben does do a little bit like Draymond does for Seth. Yes. I agree with that. But my only thing about that is we need Ben to do more than Draymond because we don't have the elite scoring that Draymond had around him with Clay and Seth. So without that, we need Ben to do more because who's he just going to give it to? It's Danny. We don't have a Seth and Clay, so I need a little more from Ben. That's the problem.
I mean, I listen. You always want more from players. I don't care who the player is. You want more, unless you win a championship. You want more from somebody. So that's why certain players have certain
Hey, look, you
strengths.
know what I meant. He doesn't dribble the ball to score. He
Right,
catches and shoots. He
Right,
doesn't
right.
dribble a lot. Let
right.
me say he
No, no,
doesn't
you're right.
dribble a
You're right.
lot.
Hey, y'all do us
I don't want Toby dribbling the ball around. We see what happens when Toby dribbles.
do
Remember
us
at
a
the end of
favor,
that
hit that
game?
like button while y'all here, put that like button and
I
subscribe.
don't want Toby dribbling.
No, I agree. I agree completely. But that's why I still feel like, and I like Maxey. I would much rather if we had a point guard. Honestly, to me, Maxey's best role on this team would be him coming off the bench, being that 6 man. Not saying and also being in the game down the stretch in the closing. Like I want him in there too. But I think Maxey's big is to be able to have him come off the bench, like I think Ethan mentioned the other pod about like Lou Will type. You know what I'm saying? Like come in and I just want him to come in, and when you come in, basically what we thought Shake was going to do, come in as a 6 man and you just go to work.
Like, let me
Yo,
ask you a question. Is Steph Curry the answer at our shooting guard position? Is he?
no,
Because I don't
no.
think so. I think
I don't think so either.
we
But
got to upgrade it. That's the position that we probably got to upgrade. It's like we need a
But you
lot
can't
of.
upgrade every
but if you
position.
upgrade, if you go ahead, Wayne.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
If you upgrade like another position other than that, it'll help Seth. You know what I mean? Like if
I
you
agree.
upgrade Toby or Danny with somebody that can handle the ball a little bit, it'll help Seth. Seth's more of a floor spacer, to be
Yeah,
honest with you. He helps space the floor because you can crash because he can be open on the wing. So if you can he can still be useful. No, he's not a 20 a point score, 20 a point game scorer. Never be that. But let me see. Y'all ever think Matisse would shoot like Danny? Matisse could shoot like Danny Green.
it'd be a whole
No,
different ball game.
Danny Green was a shooter. He's always been a shooter. Like that's what I'm saying. That's what Danny Green was, a 3-and-D guy from day one. That's what he was. You know what I'm saying? That's just not what Thybulle now. But that being said, because I don't think Bruce Bowen was that great of a 3-point shooter when he first, because he sure enough wasn't when we had him in Philly. And then
No,
all of a sudden
he
we
wasn't.
traded him and he went over there. All of a sudden he's this 3-and-D guy that's lighting up, you know what I'm saying, from outside. So and listen, I don't have a problem with Maxey starting. I'm just thinking, I think Maxey at this point in his development, is better suited because, like we were saying, it's like he's still trying to find his way. I like him coming off. Like that's just like when we saw Maxey playing, like when Bede and Toby and them wasn't in there, and it was like Maxey, this was his unit and his squad. Maxey was, you know what I'm saying, all out and balling. So I think that right now, at this point of his progression, that's the best suited spot for him. So you could be, if you're coming in on that second unit, you know that's your squad. You lead that squad and you dictate what's going on. That's what I'm saying about him coming off the bench.
Yeah, I don't got a problem. It depends who the guard is. I don't got a problem with Maxey coming off the bench, but who's the guard they're going to start over? Right now, this season
Yeah,
about
right.
without Ben, this season's about Maxey's progression. We need somebody. We hoping for him to develop. If he can develop into something, that we can have a shot at the team. Or if they get Dane for Ben or something, maybe I don't know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But if Maxey
Ideally,
develops into something, we can have something, man.
what would
Because
be
we only got two.
ideal?
Like I said, we only got 2.5 years of Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'm
But
saying.
Joel Embiid though wasn't supposed to be the best player on our team.
Why you say that?
It was supposed to be Ben Simmons.
No,
But he
I think it's always supposed to
never
be good.
developed. Ben Simmons, hold on. Ben Simmons had saying he was LeBron coming out. So Ben would have been LeBron. He would have been the best player on our team. He was
Who was saying
supposed
that?
to be.
Only delusional people were saying that.
Ben Simmons was supposed to be the best player on our team. That's
Ben has
what was
all the
supposed to
tools.
happen. Huh?
Ben has all the tools to be the next LeBron. It's
He
still
should.
Ben.
He should have been the best player on our team.
That's what I said. Ben, ideally, in a perfect world, Ben to come back with an offensive game, and then would be the best team.
I mean, that being said, that the Ben Simmons' biggest problem is not his physical stuff; it's the mental part. And I think we've been saying that. But like, his mechanics don't look horrible when he shoots. It's just is something with him mentally. So
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not like trying to make fun of him or nothing, but it is something. He has mental blocks when it comes to playing. And I don't see where as though he make it look even worse now with this whole not mentally ready to come back, even though I think it's Cap, but it is something there mentally that's hindering him. And I'm like, I don't know how you move on from that. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know how you.
He just gotta get the right person, the right coach.
You've been saying that ever since you said Doc was the right coach when we got Doc. It's at some point in time, it got to be him and his surround. The Sixers tried to send help to him. He didn't want it.
I think he gotta get away from his brother too. His brother.
It's him. At some point, it's him. He's a 25-year-old man. It's him. It don't got nothing to do with nobody else.
What's today's date? Because the 11th, the 15th is when? 12th. Wednesday? So Wednesday is that when stuff maybe start popping off. But I know.
Hey, Miz, you trip. Miz. Stop with the Joel hate. You do realize that a lot of the stuff the Sixers get is because Joel Embiid draws so much attention. Even when he's off, the same way with Steph Curry. Steph was off tonight, but a lot of them other guys was getting stuff because Steph gets so much attention. That's what superstars do in this league. Superstars get that attention. And the great teams, the great teams are the ones that have a supporting cast that whereas though when the teams do too much to try to stop the superstars.
Don't act like Joel didn't have he had a great game. He was he had 4 turnovers in the game and he was a -9.
How was his defense?
He still didn't have I said don't pretend like he had a great game. He didn't have
where did I say he had a great game? But my whole point is don't tell me stop giving Joel the ball, feature Maxey. Maxey's not there yet. I do hope that he can, but Maxey's not there yet.
Somebody made a good point though. They said, where was it? I gotta go back. They said, I missed it.
Make sure you.
They said something about the Maxey and Joel pick and roll. Phil W. Miz. He said, he's talking to Miz. Doc not coaching Embiid and Maxey in the pick and roll. That should be our go-to player. Sure. You know how, you see, what's the boy from Atlanta? The guard, Trae
Young
and Collins, how they run a pick and roll and he rolls to the basket and it forces your defense to make a decision. Joe can't do that. And you see how Shake, that's what I'm saying about Drummond, how he was cutting to the heart. Shake and Drummond was doing that. Drummond called a oop like that. This is what I'm talking about.
He don't catch oops. How many oops have you seen?
Because he don't go to the Joe doesn't roll to the basket hard.
He's not built like that. That's not his type of. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I get it. I get it. We want to see guys do, but guys have certain skill sets. That's like saying Steph Curry, when Steph come off that baseline, he should be dunking on balls every time. That's not his game. That's not what he is. So when you have a player, you look at what they do. Joel has a pretty good mid-range shot. He can get physical inside. He plays excellent defense. That's what Joel Embiid is. But I get what you're saying, Ethan, because I do think that it should be, because the funny part was, even I think against Utah, they actually did do some pick and roll, but it was Seth and Embiid. Like, I don't understand why they can't do it more with Maxey. But that being said, Embiid don't have that quick twitch, get off the ground, and Embiid doesn't have that quick twitch move. He don't got that in his arsenal with the dunking and stuff like that. Everything he does is kind of slow and deliberate.
The bull Korkmaz, he been stinking. He did hit one clutch 3-pointer, but he been stinking up the last 3.
No, listen. Korkmaz played well. He played 9 minutes. That's what you want, and he played very well with them 9 minutes.
Maybe that's all he should get from now on. Like no more.
Yeah, he played well. Somebody mentioned it earlier too. Shake 3 has been off. Who was Shake? Like 0 for 4 from 3.
He didn't hit one.
He might.
You know what's funny though? Shake actually, and they mentioned it in the broadcast. Shake actually does, when he goes to the basket, he plays a little bit stronger sometimes. Like he'll take contact and can finish, but then it's like other times it's like he get knocked over like by the wind. I don't get it. It's like he pick and chooses when to attack and go physical like that. You know what I'm saying? But to say about what was it? Somebody said, yeah, like Joker don't catch oops. You don't expect Joker to catch oops. And you saying about
Joker can't jump over $1.
I know. But see, this is my other thing.
See that athlete. He athlete.
But yeah, he is. But this is what I'm saying, that he's not is different parts to being an athlete. Everything is not just jumping and quick twitch jumping. But to sit there and say what Embiid does do well is set them screens up top for the shooters like Steph to come off.
He's the mid-range very well. very well.
Right. And he sets that pick to free a lot of those dudes up for their mid ranges or to drop to the back. Like he does it. And another thing is because he has that mid range, when he stays outside, you force the center to have to come out that lane. That opens up for some of those guys. Now, of course, it'd be nice if Toby finished at the basket a little bit stronger. You know what I'm saying? Or if some of these other guys finish. But I think a lot of that gets opened up, even for Maxey. I think it opens up the lane for Maxey if you have Embiid out there and it's a threat to give it to Embiid at the mid range, or you collapse on Maxey. So I do think that that's there. I just don't think Embiid is. He's not Shaq. He's not that Shaq athlete.
What do y'all think? Y'all think we need to work on developing Isaiah Joe a little more?
I said that earlier.
I do. Mr. Wing, I never said Embiid can't roll. I just said that he's slow on the roll. I didn't say he couldn't roll. I just said they did it.
Isaiah Joe needs some more clock. I mean, you're going to depend on him in the playoffs, so why not give him a chance?
You think? Hey, you can't depend on playoffs and get no burn in the regular season.
That's what I'm talking about. And then we're going to be looking when they be clanking all their shots.
The playoff rotation is only 8 strong. If Thybulle can seize hold of his starting job, which he need, what I hope he does. So your bench should be
No, but Doc
strong in the playoffs.
I'm about to say Doc don't just go 8 strong, because remember that was a big issue that everybody had because Doc was running like a whole nother 5 out there. And the other thing about that, to the point that y'all making, I do want to see Isaiah Joe out there get more minutes, because remember that's what happened when we got in the playoffs last year. And then he wanted to throw Maxey in there for all these minutes when you was restricting him all season. You should have had him playing, and then that way, in that moment in the playoffs, you would have been more comfortable with letting him go in there and not as soon as he falter a little bit, you yank him out. I would love to get Bradley Beal in this squad. Bradley Beal with Embiid.
Washington playing well, ain't they? Why would they trade him?
He's still saying
these teams
they've been kind of faltering lately.
He said he's not fully committed right now.
I don't think they was playing.
Who said that?
I mean, they started out.
He's not fully committed to who? Washington?
Yeah, he said he's leaving his options open. He said he hasn't.
Why is he a free agent?
He said he hasn't been in this position before, where he pretty much can dictate his future.
So, all right, let me just stand this right. You got the Nets, Bucks. Bucks came all the way up. Oh, Sixers moved to 6. Well, they tied.
Sixers is over the Wizards right now. That's what I'm saying. Remember the Wizards was balling earlier in the year.
This was a confident Bill when I agree with you.
Yeah, but remember, like you always say, only 3 games out of first. So
yeah, I know, but I'm also looking at it but that's what I've been saying. We went through a stretch. The Sixers went through a stretch where they didn't have Embiid, where the Sixers didn't have Embiid for like 10 games. Embiid and Tobias.
I read another report about breaking up Tatum and Brown. Would y'all still take Jalen? Because they what are they? They in 10th place right now. The Celtics. They have to do something.
I'm fine with Jalen. He plays offense and defense. That would be that wingman. If you got Jaylen Brown on here and Maxey, I think you plug Jaylen Brown in there. This puts this team up.
He's a small forward you need, right?
Listen, he is. He would be an addition because we haven't had Ben all year long. So if anything, anybody would be an addition to the squad.
That's what I was saying. Anybody would be an addition to help this team. Yes. So but that still might leave you point guard dilemma a little bit, unless you still grooming Maxey.
But see, I think I agree with you. But I think that actually, because Jaylen Brown can bring up the ball, like Jaylen can handle the ball and he can create his own shots, like what I'm saying, like we say we need. And he's not afraid to take that big shot in the big moments down the stretch. So I think that alleviates some of the pressure. Right now, if Maxey's not bringing up and playing point, then we got Seth with his slow self bringing up, playing the point. We got Embiid bringing the ball up, playing the point. We got Tobias bringing Jaylen Brown automatically is better than all those guys at bringing the ball up and setting up the offense, in my opinion, other than Maxey. So so if you putting Jaylen Brown out there and then you have Maxey out there along with him, I'm fine with Jaylen Brown, Maxey, and Seth and as that starting backcourt and swing man. I'm good with that.
So D-Mark, you said you'll take Brandon Ingram over Jaylen Brown.
Somebody said I know I'm taking Brown.
I like Ingram, but I think Jaylen Brown gives us more of what we need on this team. Like that guy that can I don't see Tatum. I mean, I don't see You said Ingram, right? I don't see Ingram as being the guy that can facilitate the offense. He's a great scorer,
I'm gonna
but
tell
I
you
don't
what
see
happened,
him as
Mr.
that
Wayne.
guy.
Everybody got hype off of Isaiah Joe because they see him squeezing threes, and this the era we in that Steph Curry has created. When you see a guy that can shoot
He
a
can
three,
play
everybody get
defense too.
excited.
He can
He
play
can't play
D
no
too.
defense. He can't play no defense.
He's a good on ball defender.
He can't
When
play no defense.
Doc,
What is Isaiah Joe? Is he 6', 6'1"? How tall is this kid?
about 6'6", 6'5", about 6'5".
Is he that tall? You just hyping him.
I think
Who's
he
that?
about
Who you talking about?
Isaiah Joe. Tim screaming, he's
Yeah, I don't know. He
6'5". I
might be
think he
like
hyping
six.
him.
No, I think he about 6'5". He listed at 6'4".
So he's 6'3".
See, I don't mind Seth. I don't mind Seth coming off the bench, but I think depending on the starting lineup you got, I don't mind Seth in that starting. As much as we say we say what we want to say about Ben
Wait a minute.
Simmons,
Who
but
is
what
that me
he
beeping?
did,
They saying somebody
probably.
smoked the Texas beeping.
That's your door. Remember how you said your the thing for your door
Yeah, that's
beeps?
stupid. I can't turn it off. Every time
You just
somebody
don't hear it. You're used to it.
I
You
don't.
just used
It's
to
one
it.
of the
That's all.
doorbell things where every time somebody walk by something, it alerts. It's
Motion
irritating.
sensor.
Yo,
Yeah, I don't know how
Isaiah
to turn it off.
Joe do play good defense.
No, Isaiah Joe definitely
No, that's my smoke
played.
detector's battery. So I just heard it. Let me go find it. Where is that?
Hey, I hit that like button for us.
No, but I'm okay. I think what Ben Simmons did bring was no matter what we want to say, Ben Simmons would make the defense collapse on him when he
Yep.
drove to the basket, and it left guys open where they didn't have to do as much, like a Tobias or a Seth. They could just spot up, and Danny. Those guys had more of an opportunity to spot up and shoot. That's why I say I would. I don't know if Maxey can be that guy. Maxey can drive and stuff, but I don't think Maxey has that vision to make those kind of passes that Ben Simmons did because
I
of his
like the
size
fact
or
that
whatever.
Maxey using his left hand to get his shots off. He did it a couple of times in the layup, so he played well.
Now you know I'm not usually one about the refs and stuff, but I felt like the refs was like they was kind of like that one when Danny Green blocked the ball shot. They tried to say Danny fouled him. The boy actually was trying to push off on Danny.
Yeah,
I didn't agree with that offensive foul they called on Embiid when Draymond was trying to run up underneath of him. Then they gave him the offensive foul. I didn't think that was an offensive foul.
But what about the non-call they did on Steph Curry shooting a three, and then they said he leaned in. They said he didn't lean on, but then they did the same thing with Steph Curry. They gave Steph Curry the same call that they didn't get Steph Curry, or vice versa. I was like, that's so corny. I like be consistent of anything. But this was a good team win. It was everybody at different parts of the game played well. Like that first quarter, that was all about Maxey. He paced us, hit 2 big 3-pointers in that quarter.
I got it.
Well, the other thing though, I mean, we say about Maxey, say what you want though, but Embiid got their big man in foul trouble. So you got a Draymond who's one of the best defenders in the league who has to sit down because he's in foul trouble now. So I think
I don't agree the way y'all was saying it with the refs. Don't agree at all.
You don't think so?
I think it was pretty fair. If anything, they was letting them play very, very physical on Steph.
No, I don't think that they was really hitting. I don't think they was really hitting stuff.
No, I disagree. I agree with you.
You thought they was doing a lot of hitting on Steph?
When he was driving the lane, they was allowed to play very physical on Steph. The rest wasn't. They wasn't holding the sixes. I don't agree with that.
What y'all think about Andrew Wiggins? Do y'all think he did?
And Embiid got away with that double dribble at the end of the game too.
Who? B?
Yeah.
No, I was saying Andrew Wiggins though.
Yeah, but Andrew, and this is my point, and this is the point that I make. Like when we talk about Tobias Harris, every team has these type dudes. Like Wiggins, you look at Wiggins, and you'll see highlights, and you see Wiggins in the first half balling.
He was playing well though.
And then he disappears. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of teams have. See, it's just
Wiggins
different when
way
you're
better than Toby.
I take Wiggins in a heartbeat.
Hey, listen, but what I'm telling you, what I'm saying is, you look at Wiggins, and Wiggins come out and he balled, but then where was he at? If Wiggins would have kept that same energy the second half,
Wiggins can get hot. Toby can't get hot. Wiggins can get hot and shoot the lights out of the building.
What's Wiggins' shooting percentages?
I
You don't
don't
even
know.
know. You just talking about what he can do.
Why you just gonna throw?
Because
Well, no, you.
I'm saying,
Here's the
listen,
thing.
We're
I'm not saying
people,
Toby. I'm not saying that Toby is better than Wiggins. All I'm saying is we have a tendency to do this. We look at the guys on our team. It's like he's trash. But people on other teams. That's just like the same thing
Is
say
a
about Ben
max
Simmons.
player. He
The
is
same
trash.
things people say about Ben. Well, Wiggins was the number one overall. Winless for Wiggins. So talk about how trash he is.
Number one because Embiid got hurt.
They're talking. No.
He wouldn't have been number
Wiggins
one.
was.
He wouldn't have been number one.
Wiggins, yeah,
got
Wiggins
hurt.
would have been one.
Wiggins was number one. The whole thing was Wiggins. It was
Joel Embiid was the consensus number one
he wasn't.
until Embiid got hurt. When Embiid got hurt, they flipped it.
Bro, the whole year it was about Wiggins or the other bull.
That's what we were saying.
Not Embiid. It was Wiggins or who was the other one that went to Milwaukee?
Embiid was going number one.
Somebody out there knew who was it? It was Wiggins and who?
It was in the bull from that was drafted by the Bucks, the small forward bull.
Yeah, he's from Chicago. Yeah, he might. Is he out the league?
I think he's still in the league.
I think he played somewhere.
He was actually balling his first year. He broke his leg.
Yeah, but they the two guys that was supposed to be 1 and 2, and B ended up showing up on the radar like in the middle of the season.
And then then he became the number one until he got hurt.
It's the reason why everybody was saying Wiggins for Wiggins. Wiggins was the consensus number one pick.
Early on, I'm talking about at the end, before he got hurt, Embiid was going number one.
Jabari, that's the name. Jabari Parker. Yes.
Yeah, Jabari Parker.
They was the consensus 1 and 2 picks.
No, Embiid was going number one.
He was.
Jabari wasn't consensus too.
It was Embiid one.
Wiggins was one.
And Wiggins
was one. Jabari was 2. And then Embiid and then they started talking about Embiid.
Jabari wasn't. Embiid did drop because of it. He had like back surgery or something. He had some injuries.
Coming into the year, the whole discussion was: are the Sixers going to get Jabari Parker or Wiggins? And they was talking winless for Wiggins. And then Embiid started showing up. Then Embiid started getting noticed. But Wiggins was the consensus. Everybody was talking about Wiggins was going to be the next Bron. That stuff.
No, early on, everybody was saying Wiggins, but then B took off. B was the number one point. He was getting drafted. He was going to be the number one pick, and he would have went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I believe. He would have went to the Cavs, but he got hurt. When they got hurt, they switched it out, and they took Wiggins. I'm telling you, that's what happened. That's exactly.
I remember when he got hurt, but to start the year off, it was Wiggins and Parker was the two that everybody was debating.
By the end of that season, Embiid was the consensus number one, going number one.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
I'm telling you. All right. And then what happened was
everybody agreeing with Tim on this one.
When the draft came, remember the draft is first, the lottery is first, and then the draft. The lottery was already sold. We had that number 3 pick. And that's why they was like, we're going to get Wiggins because Wiggins.
Yeah, they were saying we might get Wiggins because he might fall.
Spot.
Or Jabari. They were saying that. I remember that.
They switched it up when he got hurt. I'm telling you. That. All right. Anyway.
Well, like I said, I know the start of that season, everything was talking about winless for Wiggins. We was talking about Wiggins being.
You act like Wiggins. Wiggins can play. Let's not.
I didn't say couldn't
play. Yeah, he's better though. I could tell you this much.
Ben Simmons can play, but they're not living up to what you expected.
Ben Simmons, no, he can't play.
How many All-Star games did Wiggins make?
I don't care about that.
So what you basing what he could play on?
I don't care. I base on my eye test and what I see.
Okay, so who did the league look at as being a better player, in your opinion?
Between who?
Between Wiggins and Ben before this year.
They both was number one picks. Wiggins is
considered the better player.
What'd you say?
No.
The better player.
Wiggins is definitely the better scorer. Wiggins definitely creates his own shot.
No,
Wiggins. And to be honest with you, Ben and Wiggins probably on the same level of defense. Ben just gets some more height. Wiggins can play D.
Wiggins can play defense, but Ben was first team all defensive last year. So
but Ben hyped this whole self up about this defensive
All-Star
thing.
Games, dude, because I
don't care about that.
Don't got no All-Star game.
He was playing in the West.
Don't matter.
He's playing. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. None. He's playing the West his whole career.
If he was in the East, who spot?
If Ben was in the West, he would not be a point guard All-Star. If Ben was in the West, he would not be an all-star guard. I promise you. I promise you he wouldn't. I promise you he wouldn't.
All right.
Well, that's speculation. But as it stands, Ben Simmons
I
has been a
told you I
three-time
don't care about that.
No, this is a good. This is a good day.
We see Wiggins is better because Ben ain't even playing. How about that? You ain't getting 0 for Ben. 0.
Gonna be bad.
All right, listen. The only point that I was making was, I mean, you can have your preference of either one, but only thing I'm saying is, sometimes we get to looking at the people on our squad and talking about how trash they are, and you want to get rid of them, this, that, and other. And guys that we'll be looking at on another team, the other team mess around and be looking at like, yo, he's trash. We had guys on here from Atlanta when we was playing against Atlanta. They were saying they would take Tobias over John Collins, that they would prefer. I'm saying you just had it like that.
They said they would. They said they would.
No, that ain't true, because it was a few of them on here that
saying they would.
Talking about Collins. They were saying Collins was hype and they didn't want to pay him that money.
I mean,
and there was a couple of them on here that said they would take Tobias in a heartbeat. So that's what I'm saying. It just is like that sometimes.
Wiggins still finished with 20 points. He still played a solid game tonight.
Yeah, like 15 at the half, though.
And he gave you 5.
I don't know what he had at the half. Don't hype what he had at the half.
I know.
Don't hype what he had at the half.
I think
he
might
have had 10 at the half. Don't hype what he had at the half if you don't know. You just trying to throw it out there to try to make the 20 look. No, you don't. No, you didn't. He had 10.
I know he only had like 2 in the. I don't know if he even scored in the fourth quarter.
Wiggins had 12 at the half.
12. I knew he had something around there.
He had 12 at the half, and he finished. So he had 8 in the second half. That's not too bad. And the most of that came in the third quarter because he was balling. Him and Jordan Poole had a very good third quarter.
So he scored his whole 8 in the third. So he did nothing in the fourth.
I don't think he did anything in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
They see how you change the narrative. First you like he do nothing.
Hold on. I don't think B.
So you don't think B what?
What did Toby doing it? What did Toby do the whole game? I don't think B scored in the third.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he scored. B was going to the line all night.
What's going on with B anyway with that, like this rib injury or something? Is it a rib injury? Like, I don't understand the injury.
I don't know.
I would definitely. He said Wiggins in a contract where he probably won a boatload of money, but to me, Wiggins is definitely a nice player on your team. Definitely a nice player on your team.
So Toby,
I mean, his defense is better than Tobias, and I think he's a better shooter. So
Toby finished the game with 16 points. So he finished the game with 16 points, and he had 7 in the first half. So he scored 9. So
Toby was consistent. Toby was consistent.
He's a fraud.
Listen. I'm not saying Toby is better than it. The point that I'm making is we tend to look at the guys on our team through a certain type, either it's extreme hate or extreme homerism when we looking at the guys through our team. Like sometimes you gotta take that off. The familiarity you have to take out of it to judge what players are sometimes.
Yeah, I get Ephraim in the chat now, so y'all can give him.
And Wiggins shot 1 for 3 from free throws.
I use the eye test.
But from now on, if I'm Doc, I gotta sink or swim with Thybulle right now and just let him develop and just hopefully he can play a little bit better. He only had 6 points today. If he can give us 9 to 10 points a game and still play that elite defense, I'm okay with that. I can live with that.
But that was the biggest problem with Thybulle, though, is he wasn't playing this type of defense. In my opinion, his defense wasn't. That's what I'm saying. We expect his defense to be that upper echelon type defense, and I don't think that it had been recently.
But today,
that's the biggest problem. This game he was.
Because he had the glove. He had the glove on the young boy, on the boy Steph.
Yo, did y'all see the 3-pointer? This one of the things that bother me with the Sixers, though, when it comes to the 3-point shots. Like I know the shots is off. Why does it seem like none of them believe in getting close to the 3-point line? It's like when they shoot, like when Cork shoots from up top, he's like 3 steps behind the 3-point line. Shake pulls up like 3 steps behind the 3-point line and hit the front rim. Like, bro, take a step in. Yeah. Shoot in your range.
Yo, Jamar,
He
hey,
irked me with that.
Jamar said this is why I don't view the Warriors as a serious threat. Last time he was the favorite, he choked at 3-1 lead.
Who you talking about?
Listen, man, you said about the Warriors. The Warriors get Clay back. The Warriors get Clay back, and he's 90% of what he was. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. So I don't doubt him.
Book ache. I guess that's what it is. I agree. I think that's the biggest problem with Tobias is the money he's getting, because people, no matter what, that's what people. For me, unless he's keeping us from signing somebody else, which I don't think that he is, because I don't think we was getting any free agents in here. So my thing about that is I really don't care. At a certain point, I don't care where Bulls was drafted. I don't care how much money they making. If this is our team and this is what our team consists of, give us what we're looking for from you. But that being said, I think Tobias is a decent player, but I don't think that he's worth the money that they played. But I don't think half the players in the league that get some of that money they getting is worth the money that they getting. I don't think Wiggins is probably going to get a gigantic contract that's going to be up there. That's probably going to be better than Tobias' contract. So that's just what the league is.
Yeah. All right,
we'll see what happens next game. Next game, we'll see how we bounce back. Hopefully, we ain't too high, and we still come back hungry next game. We gotta play all these games like we played tonight.
Yeah.
I like to see some consistency from this team. From these
Memphis
players.
Actually balling without Ja Morant too.
They keep saying that.
Consistency from. I'm looking for consistency from Matisse, man. Growth from Matisse.
Yes.
Growth from Maxey. That's what I want to see.
Looked like he was healthy, because I think he still was recovering the last couple of games, but today he looked like he had a little energy. Those 2 days off probably was helpful.
Might help him. Yep, might help him.
Yeah. So when y'all catch his Monday, we won't be on tomorrow because Eagles got a bye. But before we get out of here, make sure you hit that like button. Please hit that thumbs up button. If you live on here, we got almost 80% people on here. So please tell us what you think. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button. And don't forget you listen to the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. We out.